ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So we have been looking at the kinds of people the demon called Kali hangs out with. Himsa, we saw, Durukti, bad words, violence. And the third one is actually familiar to us from a different context. Her name is Alakshmi, not Lakshmi. You have to put a in front of it. Alakshmi. Alakshmi means what? Not Lakshmi, simple. Lakshmi, the word means resplendence, light. Lakshmi is the goddess of light. Lakshmi is abundance, not just money. Even though the photos that we have show her holding her hand like this and then money falling out, gold coins falling out of the hand. But that is just a upalakshana, that is just a metaphor for abundance within. Abundance, compassion, and no scarcity mentality, no poverty mentality. Poverty is one thing, that may be karmic. One cannot maybe do something about it very easily. But that is very different from poverty mentality. Poverty mentality is when, when one feels like one doesn't have, even when one has. Scarcity mentality. And so when we pray to Goddess Lakshmi, we always say, please leave your elder sister at the door. She is not welcome. You please come. And then when we look at Lakshmi and this demon called Kali, we see a lot of similarities. Both have the owl as the mascot. And that's why the owl in the Hindu dharma is not regarded as very auspicious. And then both have the owl as the mascot. Kali carries a flag with an owl on it, and both of them are wearing tatters because of scarcity mentality, and both of them feel victimized and complain a lot. Both of them don't have a pleasant smell. All these things, so they are in a way made for each other. And this is this is the third quality in people. See, it's nice to personify these entities, because then you can look at them from a little bit of a distance. Otherwise, if we start wondering, oh, I don't know in what ways I have poverty mentality. I can never have poverty mentality, and I'm not here, I'm not doing this. So then, one gets defensive. But if you embody it in an entity called Alakshmi, then it is easier to look at. An entity called Kali is also easier to look at, because it is that demon over there, and so it is easy to look at from a little bit of a distance. And so this Kali hangs out with Himsa, Durukti, and Alakshmi. Poverty stricken in the mind, in the heart. Not really. Really, there is nothing to want. And the non-wanting is connected to the abundance, and the non-wanting can only happen with the knowledge of Vedanta, developing viveka, vairagya, etc. And then only the non-wanting, one discovers that the ultimate reality of the self is non-desiring, non-wanting entity. And so that can happen only with Vedanta. But then now this non-wanting is something to be discovered. Even in the course of one's sadhana, karma yoga, etc., non-wanting is something to be discovered, something to be practiced to manage the desires, etc. But in the persona of Kali and Alakshmi, we don't find this at all. So here, the wanting mentality is there. Always victimized, always wanting, always discontented, always running around blaming others, and always, is like Alakshmi is like a rain cloud. Like the moment she walks in, everybody feels dejected suddenly, all at once. And Kali is like some kind of a fiery being. So some kind of he singes whenever he touches you. And so, like this is all, so he hangs around these three women. And so, these three qualities, if we have in any measure, then we are attracting Kali. Not only are we living through Kali Yuga, as I said, that is an objective fact. We can't do much about it. But then, subjectively, if we are inviting these qualities and attitudes within ourselves, then we are inviting Kali, which means conflict and which means a lot of strife and frustration, samsara, all these things. And then, of course, the Kali's parents. What was the father's name? The father is, the father, the mother is Mrisha, falsehood, and the father is again some violence or something like that. And then, so like this, he's the offspring of all kinds of. Father is delusion, I think. So, delusion and falsehood. He's the offspring of delusion and falsehood. And then, in turn, he has two or three children, and one of them is called fearfulness, bhayanaka is, and then the other one is called mrityu, death. So the whole family tree of Kali shows us the ways in which to avoid inviting this demon or demonesque force in the heart. This is how to cross Kali Yuga. By the best way to cross it is not by not being cross oneself. That is the only way. And then, so with these words, let us enter the text and look at the text. Let us see. Let us look at the text here. Will it help if I share the screen? Yeah? Okay. I'll share the screen so everybody can look at the text. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have the rights to do that. So that's okay. I won't share the screen because I'm not able to do that now. So anyway, so I'll just read it and then look at it. Then we will look at it. Dvaparante Naradaha Brahmanam Jagama Katham Bhagavan Gam Paryatan Kalim Santareyam Iti. Dwaparante. At the end of the Dwapara Yuga, at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, what happened? Narada, the sage, Brahmanam Jagama, went to Lord Brahmaji and then asked a question. What was the question? Katham Bhagavan. How, O Lord? O Lord, how on earth, how should we do this? Katham Gam Paryatan, roaming the earth, Kalim Santareyam Iti. Now that we know how horrific this Yuga is and how horrific Kali himself is, Narada goes to Lord Brahmaji to ask the question, how can I cross Kali Yuga? And Narada is not like us, okay? Narada is an erudite sage. He is a Chaturvedi, knows all the four Vedas by heart. He's not some roadside riffraff. He knows all the Vedas by heart. He knows the Upavedas. He knows the Nakshatra Vidya. He knows astronomy. He knows astrology. He knows Jyotish. He knows what Dhanur Vidya, how to the art of warfare and how to string a bow. All this he knows. He knows Kalpa, how to do Homa. He knows. And then he knows how to consecrate a temple. That Shastra also he knows. And then he knows mathematics. He knows cookery. He knows everything that is there to know. He knows. And he also knows. He also has Brahma Vidya. Okay. And so he is the embodiment of Vidya. And that's one of the ways he's just so adept. He's not like any regular person that you might meet on the street. And then the other thing about Narada, which is irregular, is that he can go to all the lokas without visa, without the need for a plane. He just is an intra-terrestrial traveler. He's a loka, he's a loka goer. And, he just, it's just like in the days when they had that plane. What was it called? Concorde, which would break the sound barrier. And after that, people had some problems, so it was stopped. People had some hearing problems and everything after they got off the plane. So it's like that. He could just travel and breakfast with Vishnu and Lakshmi, with Mahavishnu and Lakshmi, lunch with Lord Shiva. And so when he went to Vaikuntha, he would say Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And then when he went to Kailasa, he would change his tune. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. He would do bhajan. So it was not, it was very difficult to not love him. Narada is a very lovable character. How can you not love such a person? And because he was just wanting to help, he was very, very helpful. See, he is the one who helped Valmiki, the person who wrote the Ramayana. He's the one who helped him cross all the papa of having lived a life of a robber in the jungle. So this person would just say, stand and deliver. And one day happened to catch hold of Narada. And Narada said, there are 4 chapatis in my bag. You are welcome to them. I'm just going, I'm a sage. I don't carry anything. I don't have gold and I don't have all these things. And then, but just for your own sake, I think you should think about all the papa, the bad merits that you're attracting from all your actions. I think you need to think about this closely. And he says, no, no, nothing like that. And as the story goes, Valmiki goes to, Narada says to him, are you sure? He says, yeah, because I am doing this for my wife, for my children, for my elderly parents. Why don't you ask them if they agree with your lifestyle? Oh, of course they'll agree with my lifestyle because they're all dependent on me. There was a lot of ahankara. And so he says, no, no, I think you should go find out. What? You will run away. He says, no, I won't run away. And he ties him to a tree. He ties Sage Narada to a tree. And then he goes off to find out from his wife and children whether they support his lifestyle, A, and B, whether they will partake of his punya, because after all, he's doing this to feed them. So when he goes home, they are all worried because it's just like somebody who's going to office from 9 to 5 during the day comes back at 1 o'clock. You say, "What's wrong? What happened?" And so even though this fellow is nocturnal, he comes back in the middle of the night. They say, "What happened? Something must be wrong. Did you get caught? What happened? Are you sick? Did somebody stab you? What happened?" No, no, no. I just, this irritable this very irritable, annoying sage I met. I have tied him to the tree there, and he says I'm collecting a lot of papa. Now, oh family, I have a question for you. Will you please also? You will be sharing my papa, right? And then the parents said, we never raised you to be a robber. We are old, we are tired, and we don't have a say, so we are just staying here. We don't support. Why should we catch hold of your papa? And the wife said, it is my papa to be married to such a one like you. I'm already getting papa. Why should I gather more papa and collect your papa? I'm not going to do that. And the children said, Papa, what are you doing? We are too young to understand all this, but we also don't like it when all our friends make fun of us. We are not going to enter into this kind of a thing at all. And so the Valmiki that came back was very humble, very changed. And then he released Narada and he told Narada very humbly, I have released you. Now you please release me from the bondage of this papa. What should I do? Then he gives him the japa, to chant Rama's name. So Narada is very helpful. Unfortunately, on earth, in Bhuloka, Narada doesn't have a very good reputation. He's seen as a troublemaker for no fault of his own. In fact, he doesn't make any trouble at all. He's very helpful, and he's influence on a person's life is at best described as emancipatory. It is very uplifting and it emancipates the person who encounters him. But then why does he have this reputation as a troublemaker? He has this reputation as a troublemaker primarily because he digs out from within the heart unaddressed issues and lays them on the table for examination. Now, who will like such a person? Especially, I mean, if you are ready to go through this kind of an inner work, yes, you will say, thank you for bringing this up. But most people are offensive and defensive. And of course, in Kali Yuga, they are triply offensive and quadruply defensive. And so they don't like things being pointed out to them. That's why Narada is seen as a troublemaker. But when we hear the name of Narada, even in a text like this, that means we are ready for some very deep personal transformation. We are inviting this personal transformation just by the ucharana, the enunciation, the pronunciation of his name, and the hearing of his name. So this is Narada, and so Narada, who is so erudite and he is so skilled, he himself says, "I don't know how to cross Kali Yuga." So that is one interpretation. Oh Brahmaji, the one who made Kali Yuga, please tell me how to cross Kali Yuga. Another way we can look at this is that, helpful as he was, Narada went to Lord Brahmaji after touring the earth and finding people in dire straits. This is a better interpretation. After touring the earth, he was in Bhuloka and then he saw people beating up one another, and the beaten up person crying, "Mummy, mummy," and trying not finding a place to hide. He saw people being violent, cruel. He saw people having no dharma at all, taking each other's property, not listening to their conscience, not listening to the Bhagavan within. And he saw people in this way. And then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that which leads him to ask this question is to Lord Brahmaji is also given. He chances upon a woman with two sons who are as good as dead. Her two sons are comatose, they are lying on the ground, and then all the holy rivers of India, this lady summons 13 the 13 rivers she summons in the form of various goddesses. They are all there and they are sprinkling waters, their holy waters, on these two young men who are in a fatigued, comatose situation. Then Narada, of course, he's like a magnet for anybody in trouble. So he goes to her and says, "What happened? What's going on? Who are you? And who are these people?" And the lady immediately rises and says, "I think we were waiting for you only. Please tell me what to do. My name is Bhakti." She's the goddess of devotion. "My name is Bhakti, and these two young men are my sons. One of them is called Jnana, the other one is called Vairagya, and they have fainted, and nothing can revive them. By the power of my tapas, I invited all the holy rivers. These are the women who are the presiding deities of the holy rivers. These are the goddesses. I invited them to come and sprinkle their waters and utter some mantras, incantations, and revive these two sons. But they are unable to revive. You please do something." And Narada was very puzzled. How, and he just said, "Jnana, wake up, Jnana." And Jnana was in Ajnana. He would not wake up at all. "Vairagya, where are you?" And he lifted the hand and checked the pulse, very feeble, alive, but very, very feeble. And then, like this, they were lying as good as dead. And Narada said, "This is a very sad and a dangerous situation. I have to do something about it. If I don't do something about it, the whole earth, I mean, what will happen? Bhakti said, he asked Mother Bhakti, he said, how do people treat you when you walk on the road? She said, oh, sometimes they spit, sometimes they beat. They don't treat me very well at all. Sometimes I'm just invisible. I can walk through them, and then they don't even see me. Most of the time, I'm invisible. And so Narada felt a lot of compassion. He said, what is the world coming to? And then he understood this is the doings of Kali Yuga, where Vairagya and Bhakti, which are the qualifications of Jnana, are all gone. No Bhakti. And then therefore no Mukti. And then no Vairagya. Bhakti gives Vairagya. No Vairagya. And without Vairagya, there cannot be Jnanam. And without Atma Jnanam, there is no Mukti. So there is no Jnanam, no Vairagya, no Bhakti. And he said, this is a terrible situation. I have to really, he has Lord Brahmaji on speed dial. And so he calls up Brahmaji or he goes to him and he says, by his magical travel abilities, he says, Katham Bhagavan Gam Paryatan. That's why he talks about Bhuloka, walking the earth, of the mortals, Kalim Santareyam. So if I was the one who wanted to cross Kali Yuga, then what could I do? What would I do? And then what does Brahmaji say? Sahovacha Brahma Sadhu Prishthosi. Sadhu Prishthosi. Sadhu here doesn't mean sadhu, like a holy person. Sadhu here means it's an indeclinable, well done, well asked. This is a wonderful question that has been asked by you very, very well, O Narada. Saha Uvacha. Lord Brahmaji replied when? A long time ago. That her is means long time ago. Long time ago, this happened, and a long time ago, Lord Brahmaji responded. And then what did he say? Sarva Shruti Rahasyam Gopyam Tat Shrinu Yena Kali Samsaram Tarishyasi. Tat Shrinu. Please listen to that. Listen to what? And that what what should be listened to is qualified by two words, sarvashruti rahasyam. Sarvashruti means all the teachings, all the Vedas, all the Upanishads. So that which is the entire compendium of teachings is called Mother Shruti, Goddess Shruti. So this Shruti, all the Shrutis, Rahasyam, the mystery. The mystery of all the Shrutis, the teachings, the essence of all the Shrutis, and which is Rahasyam, mystery, which is what? Gopyam. Gopyam means hidden. Hidden why? For want of asking. This knowledge is not given, and the upaya, the solution for crossing Kali Yuga, is not given unless it is asked with a clean heart and a pure mind, free of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, all these things that we have been speaking about. So, sarvashruti rahasyam gopyam tat shrinu. Gopyam means that which is gopya, that which is hidden. It is hidden for lack of qualification, because one is not in a place to ask for it, because one is busy fighting, busy grabbing things that belong to other people, busy abusing some others, and busy doing all kinds of things that one must not do, busy transgressing dharma. Where is the, of course it is hidden, because one doesn't have the appropriate qualifications to understand this. So Sarvashruti Rahasyam, the essence, the Sara, the most mysterious thing, the mystery of all the Shrutis, Gopyam, that which is hidden from people for many reasons. One is because they have no interest. Second is because they have no time. Third is because they have no qualification. Fourth is because they do not ask for it. For these four reasons, it is hidden. We can also add a fifth reason, that even if it is told, it is not understood. So that is the fifth reason why it is hidden. It is not understood because of the first four reasons, because there is no adhikaritvam, there is no comprehension, there is no qualification for this knowledge. The qualification is not there, and so therefore what? So this has been hidden, but I'm going to give it to you. Why? Because you asked so nicely, and because you are qualified, and because knowing you, you will give it to all the people that you meet. That's why you keep saying Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And that is why you have inspired so many people to come closer to the truth of themselves. And that's why you are the correct candidate for me to give you the upaya, the means whereby you can cross Kali. And then here it is called Kali Samsara. There is there is plain samsara, and then there is Kali samsara, which is a custom ordered samsara, seasoned with Kali Yuga. This is called Kali samsara. What is samsara? Samsara is a life of discontentment. Always becoming something, becoming this, becoming that, becoming this, and then becoming famous, becoming rich, becoming healthy, becoming this, become. It's a life of becoming, which is extremely unbecoming, which is why the people get extremely tired in samsara. And then what is Kali Samsara? So the samsara in Kali Yuga has a special flair, more masala in it. It is rendered more spicy. And you know that this is how it is. So you go to a restaurant and they will say chef's special. So it's the same thing, but which is on the menu, but with a little twist. So same thing here. So samsara with a twist. Samsara is already twisted. How can it have a twist? Here, the twist is that whatever is happening subjectively is feeding the objective world of strife and conflict, and whatever is happening objectively is feeding the subjective world also. So the difficulties, external and internal, are in a wonderful dialogue, and the jiva is getting beaten up in this dialogue of words, in this dialogue of all kinds of, in this dance. The jiva is the one that is suffering and getting beaten up because each one, is exacerbating the other. You see, when two people fight, if one of them keeps quiet even for 2 minutes, it de escalates. It de escalates. But in Kali Yuga, there is no, there is nothing that de escalates. It only keeps escalating and escalating. Because as soon as Kali sits in your head, oh, but why will Kali sit in my head? Because you might have invited him unknowingly. That's why he sits in the head. So as soon as Kali sits in the head, you know what happens? The worst in one comes out. The worst tendencies, the worst situations. And even if such a person is a peaceful person, suddenly they lose it. And then they don't want to de escalate the situation. In fact, they put more kindling into the fire and make it into a conflagration. And this is what is called Kali Samsara, where anything that happens small is not immediately quenched, and is not immediately put out. One does not put out the small fires. In fact, one keeps on. If there is a small conflict, a small discontentment, one keeps on feeding it until it becomes a huge forest fire. This is what is Kali Samsara. One is not, in other words, one is not available for the teaching of Vedanta. This is what people think. But here, since the last few days we are studying this Upanishad, we are proving them wrong. We are proving the people who think that Vedanta should not be taught in Kali Yuga. We are proving them wrong. Each time we attend a Vedanta class, we are proving them wrong. Each time we open the book of the Upanishad or any secondary Vedanta text, we are proving them wrong. Each time we have a desire to study, we are proving them wrong. And so this is just wonderful. This is how to cross Kali Yuga, by doing the things that you say it cannot be done. And why does it say it cannot be done? It says it cannot be done because the qualifications are lacking. If everybody is beating each other up and then keeping on setting fire, then how, where is the time to study Vedanta? That is the idea. And if bhakti is compromised, then jnana and vairagya are also compromised. They are in a comatose state. They are in a permanently vegetative state and they are on the brink of death. And so this is a dire situation. That's why it is said that it doesn't say you cannot study or don't study, but it does say you need a lot of preparation. So, how did this idea that you must not study Vedanta in Kali Yuga come out of? There is one expression. Kalau kalmasha chittanam papadravyopajeevinam vidhikriya vihinanam harer namaiva kevalam. So, kalau means seventh case in Kali. In Kali Yuga, kalau. Kalau in Kali Yuga, what? Kalmasha chittanam. Kalmasha chittaha means those whose chittam, whose emotions are all occluded, whose thinking is obfuscated. Occluded by what? Impurities in the form of anger, fear, raga, dvesha, all these things. Kalau kalmasha chittanam, for such people whose thinking, whose very being is occluded by various impurities of action and thought, then and then who are these people? Papadravya upajivina. Papadravya means, if you look at anybody, the dravya means the money. So money means what? Livelihood. Upajivinam means upajivi means the livelihood. Upajivanam means livelihood. Upajivinam, with those endowed with this kind of a livelihood. What kind of a livelihood? Papadravya. Papadravya means no matter where you work, your money, how, no matter how honestly you think you are earning money, it is actually based on himsa. This is papadravya. So somehow it is funding the military industrial complex, even in a very roundabout way. It is funding the prison complex. It is funding something or the other. No, but I'm a doctor. I actually heal people. What heal people? Every day you are praying, may people get sick and then come to me. So this is again a form of even your secret wish, so that the people will be sick, so that you are not out of a job. The fact that you need to be in a job requires for people to be sick. And that desire itself, no matter how subtly expressed, is also, is also gaining money from Papa, from other people's sufferings. So what if I'm a psychiatrist? Same thing. One is milking people's mental agitation and living off of people's mental agitation. This is what it is. So no matter where you look, any lawyer, anything, you are feeding off of conflict. If you're an advocate, if you're a lawyer, and then what other, if I'm an engineer, again, same thing. You're feeding off of so many people's hurts. So many people's, you're trampling on the hearts of so many people. And so in Kali Yuga, and none of these people are following dharma, and even if you're a dharmic doctor, you are still participating in the papa of the profession itself. You may be a dharmic doctor, but you are practicing and you are contributing to the papa of the profession itself. The profession itself is such. Then there is all this malpractice insurance and this and that, and all these things, very, very complex. And so whatever, and then same thing. If you say, okay, thank God I'm independently wealthy. My parents are leaving me a nice, what is that called? Trust fund, a fund upon which I can trust. Then I am free of this papa. Are you? think again, because you are not just a karta, a doer, you are also a bhokta, an experiencer. And whatever you buy, wherever you go to buy this something, it is always vitiated by people's sweat and blood and toil and himsa, hurt, injury. No, no, no. I like to drink coffee, but I have, what is that called? Fair trade coffee. That's so that they can write it on the carton. That's all it is. You go there and see. Go there and see the living situations. And go there and see how the growers of the coffee beans, how do they live in South America and other places, and go and see. Then you may pay a visit to the owner of the coffee company, how he lives. You go and see, and then see if there is no papa in this. There is papa in production, in Kali Yuga, and there is papa in consumption. No wonder Jnana and Vairagya decided to take a Yuga long nap. They said it's not worth getting up here. So the means of production are vitiated by bad intentions and wrong means of production, and hurt, injury, himsa, injustice. Our consumption is also like that. Our consumption also, it cannot be fair. Even though it says fair trade, fair for the person who is making the money by stamping fair trade on the box. That is how it is. So this is what is called Papa Dravya Upajivana. Then the third one, who are these people? They are Kalmasha Chittaha. The first one, Kalmasha Chittaha means they are having this a heart vitiated by a lot of raga, dvesha, and impurities. Then papadravya upajivis they are, and papadravya upajivis means their mode of production and consumption inadvertently drags them to experience, or not experience, to cause himsa to others. Then the third one is vidhikriya vihinana. In Kali Yuga, one has become gone far away even from the first portion of the Vedas. They say Veda, Shmeda. What is that? Why do I need it? I don't need all this. Because why? It's all about me, me, me. And so I don't need the Veda. So Vidhi and Kriya, these are all in the Vedas. The do's and the don'ts. Please do not do this. Please do not, like there is one injunction in the Veda that says, please do not eat your afternoon meal without feeding at least one other person. Who does that now? Nobody. In fact, nobody cooks. Nobody cooks. And then you will be wondering, how should I follow this injunction when I myself am going to a restaurant to eat? How can I feed somebody else? And this is so we don't do that. And then we don't do so many other things. We don't do this, what is called Pancha Mahayagnyas. 5 kinds of giving and offerings one has to do during the course of the day. For the devas, for the rishis, for the ancestors, pitrus, for the human beings. Bhuta Yajna, and for the animals. Who is doing that? Who is making offering? Nobody is making offerings. And so whatever these were all ways to stay in sync with the Lord, with Bhagavan, so that one is not drawn to Kali in any form. But still one is not doing that. So then how do you get moksha? How do you get redemption? So for redemption, here in the verse it says, Harer Namaiva Kevala. Take the name of Hari. And why is it called Hari? Because already it is too late. You have to hurry up and chant the name of Hari. And chanting the name of Hari, what happens? There is an inner purification that happens. The name of Hari is like that. Even in the Sikh tradition, there is a very nice bhajan. The devotee sings, uh, Mera Ved Guru Gobinda. My doctor. I have a specialist, I have my own doctor. And my personal doctor's name is Guru Gobind, one of the gurus in the tradition. This is, or you can say the Guru, that is Govinda, that is Lord Krishna, that is the Lord. My Guru, my doctor is Guru Govinda. And then I went to him feeling feverish, and he diagnosed me with Kali-itis. Okay, and he diagnosed me with Kali-itis, Kali-Yuga-itis, and then he recommended a wonderful tablet. He put a tablet in my mouth. Hari Naam ka okhad rakho. And it was called the Hari, the name of Hari, the japa on the name of Hari. And then what happened? Kate janam ka phanda. And its only reaction of this medicine was that it immediately caused the cessation of all future births. It removed samsara, this wonderful tablet. So the tablet called Hari must replace the, the other tablets that we carry. When I was growing up, we didn't have all these tablets and all. These are all new. So when I was growing up, tablet is what you took because you were sick. Now, because of the tablet, one is sick. Okay, because of too much engagement with the tablet, one is sick. This is what it is. So this is how, these are all beautiful ways in the tradition, in the Sikh tradition, even in the Buddhist tradition, they talk about Kali Yuga. In the Jain tradition, they talk about Kali Yuga. Of course, in the Hindu tradition, they talk about Kali Yuga. And so Kali Yuga, it's not that Vedanta will not work. And so therefore we should just stop studying Vedanta. That is a wrong interpretation and a wrong understanding. It is that for Vedanta to work, some measures must be taken. So if you are to revive jnana and vairagya, if you have to go clear and then shock them and revive them, and then in order to shock them and revive them, you have to first revive them, and then only you can ask them to take these medicines. So this is the way to this Hari Nama is a wake up call. Narayana. Narayana means Narasya Ayanam, the goal of the human being. So the basic connection has to be re-established before we understand the meaning of that connection and revel in our nature as non-separate from that to which we connect, namely Bhagavan, Ishvara, God. So that is a different that is a different project. That's an entirely different project. But for that project, there should be some qualifications. Without those qualifications, this will not work at all. And that is why here we are having some preparatory upaya, which Narada is going to be told. And then we will see the significance of that mantra that Narada is given to cross Kali Yuga. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.